Welcome to yet another not so very entertaining but highly educational video by Mr. Ewart. We're going to look at 8.5, graphing on a coordinate grid. This is the grade 7 assignment for this week. Now it says that we have previously plotted points with whole numbers. We haven't. This is our introduction, but we're going to take a look at how to plot coordinates. It says point A has coordinates. Coordinates are the location of something, 3 and 2. So you can see A, we've counted out 3 from the 0 point, 1, 2, 3, and 2, 1, 2. So we're headed out on the horizontal and then to the vertical. What are the coordinates of point B? Well, let's take a look at point B. I would say that the coordinates of point B are 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, such as that. The coordinates of C are 0, 2, and the coordinates of D are 6 and 5. And how I did that so quick without counting, it's because it's labeled right here, so 6 and 5. So that's how your coordinates are being started. Now, something popular mistake that's going to happen. Let's say if I said to Johnny, put E at 4 and 5. This is a popular mistake that would be made. Oh, and then I didn't do the mistake. So the mistake that Johnny made here is he counted up on the vertical first and then the horizontal. But he should have counted first 4 on the horizontal and 5 on the vertical to have put it here. This is the correct point that should have been made. So let's take a look at some of these examples now that we've had a little refresher on plotting points on a Cartesian plane. Plot these points, 14 and 0. So we always start at 0. So A is on 14, 12, 14 and 0. There is point A. B is 6 and 2. So 6 and 2. 8 and 8, go vertical 8, horizontal 8, and there is C. D, 2 and 6, 2 and 6. E, 0 and 14. There we are. Join the points in order. Draw a line segment from each point to the origin. So join the points in order. There we go. It says reflect the shape in the vertical axis. Draw its image. Write the coordinates of each vertex of the action. So I'm reflecting the shape on the vertical axis. The vertical axis is up and down. So I'm going to reflect it over here. I'm going to do mirrored points. 4, 8 and 8. That's 6 and 2. 14 and 0. Now if I reflect these, join them together, it said reflect the shape, it's like a reflection in a mirror on the vertical axis. This is the vertical axis, which we did. Write the coordinates of each vertex of the image. Vertex is each point. Now let's write these coordinates. We had -1, +6, we had, perhaps I'll put this a little closer so you can see it a little better. This one is -8, +8. This one is -6, +2. And this one is -14 and 0. Now once again, don't forget, always do the vertical, then or the horizontal, then the vertical. Reflect the original shape and the image in the horizontal axis. Draw the new image, write the coordinates of each vertex. I'm going to pause the video and do that, and then show you what I came up with. I have now reflected all the points, but have yet to label them. So if I label, I have -6, -2, I have -8, -8. I have -2 and -6. I have 0 and -14. I have 1 and -6. I have 8, -8. I have 6, -2. It's getting a bit tight to label all this. And that's all my points labeled as it is asked. So it said, reflect the original shape in the image in the horizontal axis. So there was the horizontal axis we reflected. Draw the new image. Write the coordinates of each vertex of the new angle. And there we have it. All right, next example, vertical line. A vertical number line and a horizontal number line that intersect form a coordinate grid. So we have a vertical number line and a horizontal number line. So this is called the coordinate grid. The x-axis is the one that you always start with. And then you've got the y-axis is the vertical. The axes meet at the origin. There's the origin. You know what, come to think of it now, I think back to what we did on the other side, it had said that we were supposed to draw lines back to the origin over here, and we never did. Look at that. So I'm just going to fix that from before, because I believe our directions said draw a line segment from each point to the origin, and we didn't do that. So there we go. Now we have it complete. The axis divides the plane into 4 quadrants. So there's quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. So it starts in the upper right corner and then moves counterclockwise. In quadrant 1, to plot point A, start at 4 on the x and move up 6. So if I'm plotting this and it said 4 and 6, 4 and 6, where those meet up. I think we've covered all of this already in the previous example, so perhaps I'll move on. So it says, write the coordinates of each point. So if I'm writing the coordinates of each point, there's S, and we always start with the x-axis or the horizontal axis. Let's see, that looks like -10, 20, probably -25. So S is -25 and 0. Doesn't rise at all. Here's another point, Q. Looks like Q is 0 on the x-axis, 0 on here, and on the y-axis it's -30. Y. Oh, that's just the y-axis. Silly me. Those are the only points. And it says plot each of these on a grid. So I'm going to take one of these grids. They're on the math shelf. I'm just going to use a small one for this one. And it says plot each point on the grid. Okay. So it says I'm to plot 0 and -15 is F. So 0 and -15. Well, you know what? I don't really have 15 of these, so I'm going to make each of these worth 2, like this. It's 8, -10, -12, -14, -16, like that. So 0 and -15 is going to be right there, and it said that that was plot point F. Okay, so that was plot point F. So now I'm going to do plot point G. -40. Oh, look at that. I didn't have enough. Let's start again. So I need to get up to 40. Maybe I'll make each of these worth 5. There we go, like this. So the first one said 0 and -15, 0 and -15. It's plot point F. And the second one said that G would be -40 and 0. So -40, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So -40 would be about over here. start at the origin each time. So this is just telling us that when you're plotting points, always start at the origin. So for example, I'm going to use this one. If I said that you should go to 6 and minus 4, so you would start at the origin, you would go 6, this is 2, 4, and 6. I would go to 6 and then minus 4 down there. So it's showing you that you always start at the origin on the x-axis, then you start at the point you stopped at there and go along the y-axis. So this is a basic on how to get your Cartesian points on a plane. And I may be posting more videos with some of the further examples later.